86 billion. Yes, billion. With the B. That's 86 with 9 zeros. That's how many neurons are estimated to be in our brain. But the real question is, can we actually grow more?
After this, your brain will not be the same. You've changed it.
We were told we were given a certain number of brain cells, and that was it.
But Sandrine, these are adult patients. Adults do not grow new nerve cells. And much to its surprise, I said, well, actually, we do.
You're not stuck with the brain you have.
What can you do to amplify that process is certainly what everyone is wanting to know right now.
So neurogenesis is the process by which new neurons are formed in the brain through prenatal development and as adults. So, in case you didn't know, neurons are the fundamental cell of the brain and our nervous system. Their primary function is to communicate information using electrical and chemical signals. Some key parts. Dendrites. They look like this. The dendrites receive messages. Then we have what's called the cell body, or the soma. It processes the info. The axon sends signals to other neurons or muscles. Then the synapse is the gap where neurotransmitters carry the message to the next cell. That's essentially the fundamentals for the purposes of this video. But here's the cool part. To better illustrate the scale of what goes on up here, a healthy adult brain contains about 86 billion neurons, and they form these vast, complex networks which power, well, us. Hence why we call it a supercomputer. Its circuitry, wiring, and functionality is nuts. And the crazy part is, we haven't even remotely scratched the potential of understanding it to its fullest capabilities. But all that to say, can we actually grow new brain cells? See, neurogenesis is the formation of new neurons, mostly in the hippocampus. And since it primarily occurs in the hippocampus, it plays a crucial role in learning, memory, and cognitive flexibility, which we'll talk about later. But what's crazy is, it's probably happening as we speak. See, the process kicks off during embryonic development. It starts when a sheet of specialized cells called the neural plate begin to pull away from the ectoderm, the outermost layer of the embryo that will eventually form the skin and parts of the nervous system. As the neural plate folds inward, it forms a neural groove. This groove then seals up to create two important structures: the neural tube, which would go on to become the brain, spinal cord, and central nervous system, and the neural crest, a short-lived group of cells with big roles in forming other tissues. Cells from the neural crest often become neural crest stem cells, which go on to develop into many different types of cells across the body. Meanwhile, inside the forming brain, neural stem cells begin to specialize into different kinds of neurons and glial cells, and they do this at just the right time and place. This early activity lays the groundwork for the full range of neurons that will later build the adult brain. Yeah, crazy. I know, but it changes as we get older. In adults, neurogenesis primarily occurs in two brain regions: the subgranular zone, or the SGZ of the hippocampus. This produces around 700 new neurons per day, helping support memory and learning. Or the subventricular zone, or the SVZ, near the brain's lateral ventricles. Here it sends new neurons to the olfactory bulb, which processes smells. Emerging research suggests that neurogenesis may also occur in the amygdala, a region linked to emotional memory. But this finding is still being explored. So why is it important? Why do we care to understand all this stuff? A, you might find it cool. But B, it affects virtually every aspect of your life. See, new neurons affect what's known as brain plasticity, the brain's ability to adapt and reorganize. In the hippocampus, they help form new memories and enhance cognitive flexibility. In the amygdala, they may support emotional processing. Neurogenesis is also related to brain repair. Some animal studies show that after brain injury, neurogenesis increases, potentially aiding recovery. Scientists are still investigating how this could be harnessed to treat conditions like Alzheimer's disease, depression, and traumatic brain injury. As we said earlier, research has revealed that approximately 700 new neurons are born daily in the hippocampus, with about 1/3 of hippocampal neurons being replaced over a lifetime. This continuous renewal process plays a vital role in forming new memories, but it can also affect our existing memories in pretty interesting ways. When new neurons are created in the hippocampus, they can briefly interfere with memories that are already stored there. That's because the hippocampus is where memories are first formed. But over time, those memories get passed on to other parts of the brain for long-term storage, a process that can take years. And so if new neurons are added during this transition phase, they may disrupt or weaken memories that haven't fully moved yet. This could help explain why we don't always remember everything from our childhood. But here's what's even crazier. Adult neurogenesis is a relatively new concept, give or take a few decades. For most of the 20th century, scientists thought that neurogenesis stopped after childhood. Some early studies, like those by Altman and Doss in 1965, and later Patton and Nottebohm in 1984, suggested that new neurons could form in adult animals, but their work was mostly overlooked at the time. It wasn't until the 1990s that the idea really took hold. Researchers such as Richards, Kilpatrick, and Bartlett found neural stem cells in the brains of adult mice, showing that even fully developed brains are capable of producing new neurons. Now, it's not hard to imagine the future implications of this concept. Scientists are already exploring crazy things, such as activating dormant stem cells, transplanting neural cells into damaged areas, and developing drugs that promote neurogenesis safely in humans. Honestly, it reminds me of that movie with Bradley Cooper, Limitless, where he takes this pill and gets freakishly smart. Yeah, that may be happening in a couple decades. Either that or Neuralink is going to work. I'm just kidding. What do I know? But still, the process of neurogenesis is important for us to not only understand, but to fully utilize if we are to maximize our cognitive potential. And here's the thing. The older you get, the slower this process becomes. No, it doesn't go away. So you heard it here first. When older people say they can't learn new things, they're lying. But in their defense, factors such as aging, chronic stress, poor sleep, high blood sugar, a sedentary lifestyle, and mental health conditions such as depression and anxiety all slow your cognitive computer down. But that's all depressing. So let's talk about the fun stuff. How do we boost it? How do we turbocharge our computer? Hit the NOS, so to speak. Well, I'm not going to lie to you. The answers are pretty boring. Physical activity. Aerobic exercise like walking or cycling boosts new neuron growth in the hippocampus. Mental stimulation. Learning new skills, solving puzzles, or studying challenging materials stimulates brain plasticity. Nutrition. Diets rich in flavonoids, blueberries, dark chocolate, green tea, support brain cell growth. Sleep. Quality sleep is essential for memory consolidation and neural repair. Stress reduction. Mindfulness, yoga, and relaxation techniques help lower cortisol, which otherwise inhibits neurogenesis. I know, all boring stuff. So let that be a reminder. Optimal performance typically involves doing boring things for an unusually long period of time. Learning, sleep, exercise, boring. But effective? So you don't have to do any of those. But if you're trying to grow your brain to match megaminds, then I'd suggest you apply what you learned here today. Usually I connect what we talked about to performance psychology and how it can better your life, unleash your potential, blah, 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 blah. But since today's topic involved growing our brain, literally, I figure I'll let the info settle. I know, there's a lot to take in. Mind-bending stuff. Hit subscribe, like, and share to help the channel out, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.